So, hi everybody, I'm here with my lovely friend Bella. Bella, the networking guru, and I met you, I don't know, 12, 13 years ago, long time, long time. And we've been chums all the way through. Yeah. And I've watched her conquer the world and turn yourself into the networking guru, teaching brands how to build an audience, which is what we're all about. Mm-hmm. So not just here in UK, but in the States and now into Canada. So tell me, give them the potted history.
Sure, great. Thank you so much, Claire.
It's a pleasure.
I am super excited about your Social Media Genius Suite, and I'm so happy to be part of it. It's been delightful since we met. So currently I'm a networking guru and speaker. London, New York, now Budapest, and going into Canada. So in a nutshell, I help clients grow their audience, grow their business with the art of networking, and understanding that networking is a marketing tool. But most importantly, that networking is a skill you can learn. And I'm always super honest to let people know I've been in the game 12 years, but I learned the skill as networking. I didn't drop out of the sky as a networking guru. A lot of people don't know when I'm at home, especially now it's Corona, I'm an introvert. I don't even have a TV. So can you imagine my lockdown situation? So basically the moral that I want to show is a skill. Like, we were not born to cook. We didn't come out of our mother's stomachs to walk and ride a bike. We had to learn it. And I literally grew my business one business card at a time. And like yourself, when we started our business, it was in the recession, 2008. And the reason I know networking works is I never had a website. I learned digital marketing, online marketing as years went on, and like networking with gurus and experts like yourself. So networking works. So that's really my story, and I love networking because it's the most powerful marketing tool through relationships that can essentially grow your business. And now I'm a podcaster as well.
Yeah, I know, loving the podcast. So that's cool. We'll share the link on the
coffeevibes.com.
So then COVID happened and everybody stopped and all the events stopped. And so people are saying, how are you supposed to build a community when you can't go out?
Absolutely. And I'll remember that week like it was like there was nobody's business. The week of the 19th of March. And as a networking guru, could you imagine how many networking events I had? My clothes laid out, heels laid out, ready. New box of business cards. Because as a guru, I automatically, first of the month, I get like 2 boxes of business. I've got so much business cards. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. But I'll be honest with you. And I'm a very positive thinker. When it first happened, the Monday, I knew we were going to go into lockdown. And honestly, within 24 hours, I sat down and had a conversation with myself. And I said to myself, this is it now. This is the end of networking events for a little while. And you know what? Before I thought about myself, I thought of many of my other colleagues and many of my other colleagues that I'd started to see less at networking events, or I would reach out for follow-up, let's have a coffee, and they were too busy. Or I met new people at networking events and they never had a business card. And I thought to myself, do you know what? How many people right now, March the 19th, are thinking if they had that opportunity to go to the networking event that they were so tired to go to, I bet they could turn back time, you know? But as I started to think, okay, this is it, Bella. you're not going to a networking event again for a little while. So the good thing was I thought, right, I'm going to save on my wigs and go into the hairdressers. But I thought to myself, right, now, as I've been preaching for the last 12 years, it's the power of relationships, right? So no matter if you've been excelling at networking or you're an introvert at networking, you still can grow. You still can prosper with the art of relationship in other ways. So networking can still continue. So those were my thoughts during that 24 hours when I sat down. So I never ever said to myself or had the thought, networking will end, because it wouldn't. There's still ways you can network through telephone, obviously Zoom, but the face-to-face may not exist for a while, but you still can network. So to be honest, it really wasn't a problem for me, to be honest. So I tell you what was a problem. I won't lie, because I've been doing this for 12 years. I thought to myself, all those delicious canapes I'm going to miss. I thought, what am I going to do? Like, oh my gosh, all that smoked salmon, all that lovely food, because I can't cook that. I was like... So I really had to just think positively, because I knew if I started to think negatively, you know, you just go into panic mode. So
yeah, and I think a lot of sales people have gone into panic mode. We've seen the most appalling webinars coming out of the network.
And I did as much as I got my podcast, I did a podcast episode on it, episode 10, how to survive with positive networking in coronavirus. But I also did a video, because it's not essential for a business to react on panic, because you're going to make the wrong decisions. You need to go back to your business plan that you already had and make tweaks. Don't make tweaks out of panic. Make tweaks of your business strategy. And that's what I did. So you can imagine being a networking guru on an average week. If I network, I don't know, maybe an event, I might speak to 25 people a day. 25 people a day. That's, imagine 4 events. That's 50, that's 100 people. So could you imagine how many new people I meet in a week times a month? So I could sit there and think, right, okay, what am I going to do? That's my audience gone. That's my, you know, resource gone. But there's another way to network. And hey presto, what's happened? Zoom networking. People, there's no reason to panic. There's another way of doing things.
It's a case of concentrating on digital and social rather than face to face.
And the other thing not to panic was when I sat down for that 24 hours and I thought, my goodness, I've really built a great career, 12 years as a guru, a speaker, a university lecturer. I wasn't thinking, oh my gosh, I can't get into the universities now. I won't be able to be booked as a speaker. But what I did sit there and I thought about what I can do, and that was my strengths. So I started to look at my strengths. And one thing that I have always done, which you've helped me with, is content. Because no matter what your business is, even if you are a consultant, even if you're a coach, even if you have a bakery or you make cupcakes, it's your knowledge, you're an expert in what you do, which means content. And I remember I got that from yourself, because I remember once we had a coffee, because, you know, we intermittently we don't just do one coffee follow-up. We will have a little, you know, every quarter or something. And you would say to me sometimes, come on, Bella, pull up your socks. You've been a bit quiet on LinkedIn. You've got the content. Do you remember? Do you remember you said that to me? You know, so we've got content. Even, we're not saying you have to put it out every day, but you went into business with a love of something, even if it's IT repair or how to do security. You're an expert in what you do, so that means content. So
Yeah, because you've got to sell yourself virtually, rather than saying, hi, how are you, and I do this.
Showing yourself as an expert. And it's like what you say as well, like, you know, sometimes we'll have those conversations about online branding and the real life branding. It's still branding, so you still can continue to brand yourself or network your personal brand or who you are in a different way from content. So when I looked at my strength, I said, well, okay, I'm a speaker, I've got a voice. Thank goodness I had the aha moment to launch my podcast just before Corona, which I did in January. So I said, right, that's it, content. Let me still, the mistake that people make when they panicked meant they did nothing. So when Corona happens, if you do nothing and don't communicate, like what you said in the coffee shop, hey, you're not putting out content, it means you're silent and people think you're not in business. So
yeah, you basically go invisible. You lose your audience.
Invisible. And no marketplace has that monopoly. It's not the way business operated, say back in the days when it was just British Gas. If you wanted gas, one person. You wanted a telephone line, one person. No, it doesn't work like that now.
No, there's masses of choice.
Absolutely, your security, your consultant.
Yeah.
So if you panic and don't do anything, then people think, oh, Corona, you've gone out of business. So you need to keep, and that's what I learned from you, how the power of online branding as well in your communication is to keep going, is to keep showing messages, keep showing that you're an expert, show case studies, share your old testimonies. Content is content, as you're the expert that, you know, showing me all these years.
Yeah. So what do you think is going to happen in the future?
So that's it. I get
your prediction hat on.
I get calls, emails, you know, everybody wants to know my opinion on this. And I am running like a campaign on it, like what's the future of networking? And, you know, the first thing I say is in business is never linear. It goes up, it goes down, and it's the right time when things happen. Like, for example, almond milk. Almond milk wasn't popular before, now it is. That's business. It goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. So let's look at what we can control. We can't control networking, but what can we do? So what I always suggest, the first thing is, let's just do worst case scenario. Let's just get it in our minds and be honest and say, we don't know when we're going to another networking event. So that means, what else can we do? So the future that I think right now that's going to happen in networking, which is happening right now, is there was a big panic. Everybody went on to Zoom networking. I've never seen so many faces, so many book coverings in my life, I tell you. And that may be the wrong approach. And what everybody's doing now, which they should have been doing before, and something that I've been talking about from the days I networked in New York and built my networking business, you have to be targeted.
Yeah, you're not trying to impress everybody. Not everybody is your audience. You need to focus right down.
Not everybody is your customer. Not only is not everybody your customer, but in this present time of coronavirus, before coronavirus, not everybody had your budget anyway. So now it's been to your marketplace is being reduced smaller. So you need to be even more targeted. And I've been saying this from day one. When you choose networking events, don't just go everywhere because your colleague said so. It's not your industry. Be targeted. It's like going to the cinema. I can't understand a science fiction from a science fiction. I couldn't even tell you those Marvel characters. So why would I go to, I don't even know sometimes who Spider-Man is. So why am I going to a Spider-Man cinema? And people do that with networking events. And that's what happened with Zoom. As soon as Zoom went, everybody went on to Zoom. No strategy.
It got very, very noisy.
No strategy, no goal. So the future, which was the original future and which I've been talking about, is targeted. Not only targeted, is the other thing was, there is this other big thing. Wow, we're working from home now. Now, what tends to happen, if you're not used to working from home, as soon as you work from home, do you realize you actually work a bit longer? because you wake up, you don't have to take the tube, train anywhere. It's what, 8 o'clock, you're at your desk. So do you know what happens? You work longer, right? So when you work longer, sometimes you might lose focus and you think you've got all the time in the world. But now that we've got used to working from home, we don't have all the time in the world. So that's why you have to be more targeted, because actually as time has gone on and you're getting more organized within your work and working from home, you want to maximize those hours. So that's why, if you notice now, I see the LinkedIn feeds. Do you notice before, I don't know, 6 times 4, there would be 12, 24 people in those squares. If you look now on the LinkedIn feed, okay, maybe 8 people, 9 people, there's not as many people. So you have to, with networking, I always say the 80 to 20%, it's like your refrigerator. It will never be 100% full, never be 100% empty. Use that with networking. So the future, you have to be targeted. You need to set goals. I'm networking. Why am I networking? Am I networking because it says hashtag online networking Zoom party? What's the results? Because it's time. Know your hourly rate. I know my hourly rate, my monthly rate, and my annual salary, because when you attend a networking event for an hour, that's no different to marketing. It's marketing. So you could have paid somebody like yourself for online marketing. You could have paid a consultant. You could have done coaching for an hour. So are you making sure that you're efficient with that hour? So you have to look at it as time.
And that's true for all salesmen, isn't it? And saleswomen, for whatever company they're selling. I mean, they have to keep on trying to make the sale, and they have their quotas to meet, and they've got to be aware of who they're approaching, who they're networking with, who they're reaching out to. And we always say, you know, as you've said before, we always say, you've got to prime the ground. You've got to prove your expertise. You know, a lot of the sales funnel at the moment, and has been for years now, is before it's on social media, it's on LinkedIn, it's the content you put out there, it's the expertise you prove, because people come looking. You use your really drilled down focused keywords to get them to find it. You're targeting them on social media, they read it, they trust you, they think you're the expert, which you are. You've proven your expertise, and then you can have that conversation.
Absolutely. So you need a structure. And this is the only thing I do miss about the speaker engagement and why people book me. You know, that 24 hours, I had a long conversation myself, and I do miss that banter and QA, because people that book me, I tell them as it is. So it's like, don't follow fashion. Like, I'm an only child, so I'm good at teaching people this. So I've never been used to, oh, it's the fashion of shorts, let's wear shorts. No, I kind of wear what I'd like to wear. So I say that in networking, that because your colleague is doing this, your colleague is going to this event, oh, this Zoom, that you have to do. Like I said before, like about going to the cinema, you need to choose the networking strategy, structure that's for your business. And I do say, and I'm quite direct, if you want to do the Zoom networking, do it with your friend or colleague when, you know, the day's over.
Yeah, so a glass of wine and do that thing. But
do the networking, treat it like work. You're making that investment. How is it for your business? The other thing that I'd like to say is the future of networking. And there is a slight change that you should do more. But I used to teach this before anyway. There's a big difference, and I know you'll know this as well with online marketing and social media, attracting a new client and talking to your old, warm, existing people in your network or your audience. Now, we had a bit of a conversation before. Can you imagine the effort starting a brand new channel and you've already got followers? It takes you longer to build a relationship with somebody new that's never known you. Yeah. Hi, I'm a consultant, buy from me. Why should I buy from you? I don't know who you are.
Exactly. And social media is a conversation. It's a networking event. I always say it's a big networking event. Twitter is like a cocktail party, and LinkedIn is a big networking event. Absolutely. And people just blasting out, buy from us, buy from us, buy from us. It doesn't work. People ignore it.
And not only buy from us, you need to distinguish new people you're talking to and old. So when you're networking, this is the future and what's currently happening with coronavirus. So if you want to network like a pro right now, and this is what I teach, do your percentage of time. Do not spend 100% of your time on brand new Zoom networking events or online network to meet new people. It costs you double the amount of time and money and effort to make a new relationship than going back to maybe other people on your LinkedIn or other people you know, to let them know you're still around, to still ring clients. Because I say it's a bit like dating or whatever, you know, you're feeling a bit lonely. Why are you going to a new person? Go to somebody else you know. You know what I mean? You know. You know, they say you've got a black book. That's the black book theory.
Top tip from Bella, networking is like dating.
Right now, what I've stepped up, I reduce how many, say, Zoom networking events I go to, because I know some of the time may not be worth my time, because I may be better investing some of that time, maybe 80 to 20% rule, going back and networking with warm people and maybe turning that coffee into clients, which I talk about, you know, is my tagline. Because when you meet somebody new, and building relationship is not overnight. We've had our relationship 11, how many years?
Yeah, so long.
Yeah, and nobody buys from you straight away. They need trust, likability. And the other thing about, if you are trying to network and meet and make and create new relationships, is you need to get your house in order first. And this is where I recommend, like somebody like yourself, is your social media presence up to date? Because now it's not face to face. The only way we can go back to make sure you're credible is your last post. What's your LinkedIn looking like? Is your website up to date? So you need to get your house in order before and during when you're networking. So that's the future of networking right now. Get your house in order. Make the decision how much time you attract new customers you don't know, new people you never talked to, compared to going back. And also be goal orientated and also targeted. Not everybody is your customer.
No,
Not
exactly.
every cinema movie that comes out you're going to want to see. And the last thing, which I've talked about many a times, I've got loads of articles, I talk about it on my podcast, Bella Networking Podcast, is following up.
Now this is your real genius hotspot. You follow up.
So much.
Like, I don't know anybody who follows up like you do.
And a tip that I give to somebody is, do you know what? Following up is a bit like exercise, isn't it? Come on now. Everybody wants to lose weight. Even if you're size 6, like, I don't know, who's size 6 nowadays? It's the Beyonce.
After lockdown, nobody's size 6 anymore.
Lady Gaga, or, you know, I can't keep up with these, you know, even they want to lose weight. Now, it's like the fort. The fort sounds wonderful, doesn't it? I'm going to plant-based juicing tomorrow for a week, 30 days. And to actually do it or to keep it up, the procrastination comes in, isn't it? So I'm realistic. This is the bit I do miss about the corona, this speaking engagement. I need to have another talk with myself to just, you know, get myself together. But yeah, so following up, this is what people do. They get all the cards, they go Zoom. Yeah, I'm going to follow up the next day. And I'm realistic. Life is how it is. You might be flooded with emails. Then somebody calls you, distracted. Now you're working from home. Oh, you go put things in the dishwasher, washing machine. Before you know it, it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. You said you were going to follow up from the morning. So you procrastinate. So the thing with following up, the number one tip I say to people is get your calendar. If you know you're having a networking event Wednesday, June the 24th, the following week, allocate a time to follow up and just block out the afternoon.
Like a meeting almost. Just say, right, I'm going to do that.
Your me time, because if you don't schedule it, it's like working out, and it's like having that gym membership. You know, if you've got the membership, you're more likely to do it. So I'm practical networking. I just keep it like day to day. So and that helps you, and it's routine, and you get into the routine of it, and then it doesn't. Then you don't feel what's the word? You don't feel bad with yourself because you've got all of these cards, all of these new people that you just don't get around to doing it. So just make it part of your, you know, scheduling.
Brilliant. Oh, so lovely to talk to you. So lovely to see your face, even if it's just on Zoom.
And you know, one thing I want to say about coronavirus networking or business, every business, every commerce comes with challenges. And this is also a test of us as entrepreneurs and resilience. Because could you imagine that when we get through this, we will get through this better, more skilled, more relationships, what we had to rely on or turn from A to B. So this we have to look at as a great offering as well, that it is allowing us different ways to look at different opportunities to grow our business. And when we get through it, nothing else will feel like a big challenge. Could you imagine that?
If that happens, I'll be very thrilled for all of the businesses out there. That would be amazing. So thank you ever so much. Appreciate it loads. I'll put the links underneath, and if anybody wants to follow up, then they know where to find you.
Oh,
darling, thank you so much.
Bye.